What is going on, everyone? I just got back from the ballpark. Very long game. It ended around 11:30 by the time I got out of all the traffic and drove home. It is 12:30 now, and I get why it was long. You had the ceremony in the beginning, and there were so many hits, and there were so many runs, and it was just an obnoxiously filled baseball game. But it was long. It was long. What I am going to talk about was the fact that I thought the Phillies should have won this baseball game. We lose 10-8 to a banged-up Nationals team, and we had an opportunity to take control of this game and move forward and shut the door, but we didn't do it. We didn't do it. In the beginning, back and forth, they score, we score, we score, they score. It was just back and forth, back and forth. They take a 5-3 lead going into the 7th inning. Our 7th inning was insane. Doubles. Yeah, let's go! Citizens Bank Park was crazy. The place was going nuts. Until Pat Neshek comes in, allows a couple runners, couldn't get the job done. And here's where the controversy begins. Adam Morgan is elected to come in against a righty. Adam Morgan, the lefty. But I will say this. Who the hell is our best relief pitcher coming into today? The easiest answer in the world, Adam Morgan. So I know Gabe Kapler went kind of out of his scheme, if you will, to put Adam Morgan in that position. But he's our best go-to guy, and at that point, you need someone to shut the door. You go to your best go-to guy, and it didn't work out, clearly, as he allows a bomb to Suzuki, a 3-run shot, which tied the game up 8-8, and literally Robles, the next batter, dinger the other way. 9-8. They tack on more runs. One more run to be exact. I know that there was an opportunity in the 6th inning. 2 men on. 1 out. Couldn't move them along. We actually pinch hit for Arrieta in that situation. Cesar, who had a horrendous at-bat. And McCutchen gets K'd up. So we couldn't score any runs there. None. And that's where Arrieta's day ended. As he went 6 innings, he struck out 7. He didn't have a bad day at the office. He only had 89 pitches. Would he have went into the 7th if his spot wasn't there in the lineup? I would predict yes. But in that moment, with 2 men on there, you have to pinch hit for him to be able to try and produce to get some runs, even though it didn't work out that way. But that's not the only thing that hurt us. 2 errors resulted in 3 Nats runs. Well, let's do the math here. We lost by 2. We gave them 3 runs. Oh, that's right. We would have won the baseball game. Who would have thought? Jake Arrieta had an error going to first base, and Nicasio had an error going to first base, which scored 2 runs just on that specific play. So between the 2 guys, 3 runs. The pitching staff as a whole gets the L today because I know the 6th inning we didn't produce runs in that spot. Well, how many hits do we have total? 12 hits. We produced 8 runs. I think the offense did enough. That 7th inning alone was unbelievable. Reese gets a double. Realmuto gets a double. Rodriguez gets a double. Gosling gets a double. All in that inning. And I'll be honest with you. Sean Rodriguez and Gosling both stepped up at the bottom of that lineup. They both produced 2 hits each. Gene Segura had 3 hits. The guy's something else. Beating out infield singles. I've never seen anything like it. Honestly, I've never seen anything like it. It's insanity. It's insanity. I want to touch on this moment. Bryce Harper gets booed in the 8th after striking out. Joke. I was embarrassed for fans to boo him there. It wasn't a spot where there were men on, bases loaded, 2 outs, and he gets a horrendous looking strikeout. There was nothing going. The guy just struck out. But the next at bat, Rhys Hoskins is up. He strikes out, and the whole fans go, oh. So one guy gets a oh, and the other guy gets a boo. And for you to tell me that the difference is, well, Rhys Hoskins is producing. Look at his home runs. You don't think Bryce Harper has something to do with that? I mean, really, do you know, if you know baseball, you know Bryce Harper is the reason why Rhys Hoskins is being so successful. It's about the protection. We've talked about this so much. And realistically, in that 7th inning when we had all the doubles, after Gene Segura got a knock, Bryce Harper walked, and then Rhys Hoskins did damage with the double, and that's how it began. If you know baseball, you know something so little like Bryce Harper walking in that situation it changes everything. I was embarrassed as a Phillies fan for people to boo Bryce Harper in that situation. That is not the time. Not the time. I'm sorry, not the time to boo Bryce Harper. What a joke. But I will say this. I'm a broke college kid, okay? I normally sit up top. and get the nosebleeds, if you will. I splurged a little, sat a little closer, and I sat right next to the bullpen. It was kind of unique. It added a different type of value to being at the game, honestly. You see the guys warm up. You see Jake Arrieta warm up before the game. You see the bullpen guys getting the call from Gabe Kapler, start warming up, start doing stuff with the balls and the not the actual baseballs, but the balls, the weighted balls they're throwing up against the wall. And it was cool. And I actually had an interaction with Doolittle because there was a fan who was heckling him and saying things that were really brutal that I can't even talk about. He gets kicked out of the game, and some fan in front of me, a Phillies fan, goes, "Doolittle, don't worry what he said. We love you." And I said, do we still love him? So I turned around to Doolittle, and I said, "Nah, we don't love you, okay? We don't love you, but we're not going to be that guy." And Doolittle started cracking up and looking at me and cracking up. So it was cool. Nice little moment with Doolittle before he shut the door on us and got the W. But it was cool. It's funny, though, when Suzuki hit that bomb 5 seconds before that, I said, remember when he crushed one off Sir Anthony the night before? And he ended up just doing that off Adam Morgan. But I can't knock Adam Morgan. I can't. I'm sorry. I can't. The guy's been lights out all season long. And I know Gabe Kapler went with a lefty-righty matchup, but at the end of the day, he's going with our guy in a situation where he thinks we need to get out of that inning. Well, go to your best guy then, regardless of lefty-righty. And then he did, and it didn't work out. I'm normally I dislike Gabe guy. But I understand the logic behind it. It just didn't work out. It didn't work out. I want to know your thoughts on it because it is definitely a hot topic of discussion. This is bothering me because I thought this was a game where we should have won. You're up 8-5 and your bullpen blows it. I thought our pitching staff as a whole was not good. I'm not going to sit here and crush Jake Arrieta for one error, but he did have an error today that was costly in a run. Nicasio didn't get the job done. He had an error that costed us 2 runs. Adam Morgan, Pat Neshek, they didn't get the job done. Even later in the bullpen, who ended up allowing the extra run there in the 9th. It might have been Alvarez, just spitballing off the top of my head. Maybe Alvarez it was. And we even had a chance actually in the 9th inning with a couple guys on. Franco ended up getting on in the 9th. And we had a little bit of noise there in the 9th. We had to end up pinch hitting Andrew Knapp of all people, which, well, you can take a wild guess on that, how that happened. The Nats actually put Max Scherzer in to take a hit, and he was this close to drawing one down the line. And I said when he was at bat, if he ends up getting a hit here, I am leaving the baseball game. I started to grab my stuff and walk, and then they said foul ball. I said, okay, I'll put my stuff back down, and I'll sit and wait. I wasn't letting Max Scherzer get a pinch hit. Ridiculous. So at the end of the day, we fall in Game 2, and we forced Corbin to pitch 118 pitches, which is absolutely absurd. And we fall in Game 2, and now the series is split 1-1. And I just want to see here, because you would think that the games would be over. I know they were in a long game. And the Mets ended up... What? They lost. The Mets lost to the Brewers. The Braves did beat the Marlins, though, but the Mets lost to the Brewers. That's big news. That's big news. Let me make sure this is the right day. Yeah, it is, because it's past midnight. Okay. I'm getting confused. Tomorrow, Eflin on the bump. Hopefully he can continue what he's been doing. He's coming off of a complete game. Let me know your thoughts down below on this game and the Adam Morgan situation, the Gabe Kapler thing. Did that bother you? How do you feel about this game? The 7th inning, that was the lineup where we thought we were getting all season long. The doubles. And we were just rocking and rolling, and it was awesome. But we didn't have enough in the bullpen to finish the deal, which is kind of annoying. Really annoying, actually. And we're now 18-14. And just win the damn series tomorrow, please. An afternoon game. You also have the Sixers with an afternoon game. Obviously, the Phillies aren't going to get as much love, but I'm going to have the dual TVs going, of course. Just win the damn series, because I'm telling you, we have a brutal stretch coming up. We have a really tough stretch coming up, and it's gonna be a battle. It's gonna be a test. It's gonna be a test to see what this team is really made of. There's no denying it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time.